All right, welcome to the platform. Whether this is your very first meet and you've got some butterflies, or you're just here for a quick refresher, you are in exactly the right spot. Today, we're going to break down everything you need to know for a smooth, successful, and most importantly, a powerful competition day.
Look, meet day can feel a little intimidating, but it really doesn't have to be. Think of this as your personal coaching session. We're going to take all that nervous energy and turn it into a serious competitive edge just by making sure you're confident in the rules before you even step up to the bar. Let's dive in. So here's the deal. A great performance is built on knowing the rules. I've seen way too many incredible lifts get turned down because of small, totally preventable mistakes. We're going to make sure that does not happen to you.
Now, powerlifting has a few different divisions, but today, we are zeroing in on the raw division. We'll be talking about the Powerlifting United rules specifically. This is where most new lifters start out, and honestly, it's all about pure, raw strength. Okay, so before you even think about chalking up and lifting some heavy weight, your day starts with the essentials: checking in, weighing in, and getting all your gear approved. Let's walk through what that looks like. The whole process is actually pretty simple and straightforward. First up, you'll show your ID and your proof of membership. Pro tip, have these ready to go so everything moves quickly. Next, an official is going to inspect every single piece of gear you plan to wear on the platform. And finally, you'll hop on the scale to get your official body weight, which locks you into your weight class for the day. You know, simple gear mistakes can cause some big headaches. For raw lifting, your singlet and t-shirt have to be non-supportive. That means no special material that's going to artificially help your lift. Your belt can't be wider than 10 centimeters, and your knee sleeves got to be the 7mm neoprene kind. So just leave any of those supportive briefs, extra layers, or any gear that's damaged at home. Passing this check is your first win of the day.
All right, the paperwork is done. Now for the fun part, moving some serious weight. Each of the three lifts, the squat, the bench, and the deadlift, has its own rhythm and, more importantly, its own set of commands. I'm telling you, listening is just as important as lifting.
First up, we've got the king of all lifts, the squat. This lift really sets the tone for your entire day, so nailing your attempts here is absolutely crucial for building that momentum. For the squat, there are only two commands you gotta know. After you unrack the bar and get set, you wait for the head referee's squat command. And I mean it, do not start moving down before you hear it. Once you've completed the lift and you're standing perfectly still at the top, you wait for that rack command. Rushing either of these is just an easy way to give away a perfectly good lift. Getting 3 white lights on your squat really comes down to 3 things. First, and this is the big one, is depth. Your hip crease must go below the top of your knee. Don't leave it to guesswork. Sink it. Second, once you start coming up, there can't be zero downward movement. Any little dip is a no lift. And third, your feet have to stay planted from that squat command all the way to the rack command. No happy feet. Next up is the bench press. Now this is the most technical lift when it comes to commands. The squat has 2, right? While the bench press has 3. And patience is the name of the game here. Okay, listen up, because this is important. After the handoff, you have to hold the bar at a full lockout until the ref gives you the start command. Then you lower it to your chest and hold it, completely motionless, until you hear press. That pause can feel like an eternity, but you have to wait for it. Finally, you press to lockout and hold it steady for the rack command. So let's talk about the most common mistakes, starting with the infamous butt lift. Your glutes have to stay in contact with the bench the entire time. No daylight between you and the bench. The other big one is sinking the bar into your chest to get a little bounce. Nope. You have to bring that bar to a complete, motionless stop. If you can nail those 2 things, you're going to be in great shape. And we finish the day with the most primal lift of them all, the deadlift. It's simple, right? Pick the weight up, put it down. But there are still a few key technical points that can absolutely make or break your attempt. So unlike the other 2 lifts, you start the deadlift whenever you're ready. There is no start command. You pull until your hips and knees are locked out and your shoulders are pulled back. You have to hold that locked out position until the head ref gives you the one and only command for this lift, down. The 2 big deadlift killers are hitching and dropping. Hitching is when you support the bar on your thighs to kind of ramp it up. That's an instant fail. The pull has to be one continuous motion. The other big no-no is dropping the bar. After you get that down command, you have to lower the bar under control. Don't just let go of it. Finish the lift with authority. Okay, So you know how to execute the lifts, but there's a game within the game, managing your attempts and understanding how the whole meet flows. This is where a little bit of strategy really comes into play.
A competition is organized into groups which are called flights. Everyone in your flight takes their first squat, then everyone takes their second, and then everyone takes their third. The weight on the bar is always going up, from lightest to heaviest in each round, so you'll want to pay attention to the order so you know when you're coming up.
Now here's a critical, time-sensitive rule you've got to know. The second you finish a lift, a 60-second clock starts ticking. In that minute, you or your coach must get to the scores table and put in your next attempt. If you miss that window, you might get a default increase or lose your chance to choose. So have a game plan. Know your opener, your solid second, and your dream third attempt before you even start.
Whew, we've covered a lot of ground, from the weigh-ins all the way to your final deadlift. So let's boil all of this down into a final checklist you can run through on meet day to keep you focused and ready for action.
It really all comes down to these key things. First, know your commands and be patient. Second, double-check that gear so there are no surprises. Third, on every single squat, hit your depth. Leave no doubt. Fourth, hold those lockouts until you get the final command. And last, just remember, the referees are there to help you. Respect their calls and go have a fantastic day.
Remember this, okay? These rules, they're not there to trip you up. They're the blueprint. They create a level playing field where your hard work and strength can be properly tested and rewarded. You've done the training, you've put in all the work, and now you know the blueprint. So go earn it. Have a great meet.